But beneath the ocean's surface lies a world of profound mystery and wonder. A realm where creatures of ancient lineage thrive in extreme conditions. Among them is the enigmatic ghost shark, also known as chimera. These fascinating beings are living relics, perfectly adapted to their deep-sea home. Join us as we uncover the secrets of this elusive and ancient marine marvel. Ghost sharks are not true sharks, nor are they rays. They belong to a separate group of cartilaginous fish called chimeras. Their evolutionary history stretches back over 300 million years, making them one of the oldest fish lineages still swimming today. Their distinct features set them apart from all other marine life, a testament to their incredible resilience and adaptation. Ghost sharks call the abyssal plains and deep ocean trenches their home. These are environments of crushing pressure and perpetual darkness. Temperatures here hover just above freezing, a truly harsh world. Yet, these creatures not only survive, but thrive in such extreme conditions. Their bodies are perfectly engineered to withstand the immense forces. A remarkable example of life adapting to the planet's most challenging habitats. They navigate this lightless world with incredible precision. Ghost sharks possess a truly distinctive appearance. Their large, reflective eyes are perfectly adapted for low light conditions. A long, whip-like tail helps them glide effortlessly through the water. Their skeleton is made of cartilage, not bone, like true sharks. They also have unique sensory organs, including electroreceptors. These help them navigate and locate prey in the absolute darkness. Their coloration varies, often pale or silvery, blending with the deep. Ghost sharks are primarily bottom-dwelling predators. Their diet consists mainly of invertebrates like crustaceans, mollusks, and worms. They also consume small fish, using their keen senses to hunt. Their sensory organs are crucial for locating prey in the dark abyss. They forage on the seafloor, sifting through sediment for hidden meals. But this unique feeding strategy allows them to thrive where others cannot. Ghost sharks have a fascinating and unique reproductive process. Females lay distinctive, spindle-shaped egg cases on the seafloor. These protective cases safeguard the developing embryos. Growth and development within these cases are remarkably slow. Our knowledge of their mating rituals and parental care remains limited, highlighting the many mysteries still surrounding these deep-sea dwellers. Despite their remote habitat, ghost sharks face growing threats. Deep-sea trawling and bycatch are significant concerns for their populations. Studying and conserving these elusive creatures is incredibly challenging. Their deep-sea habitat makes research difficult and costly. Protecting deep-sea ecosystems is vital for their survival. The ghost shark is a truly fascinating creature of the deep. Its unique adaptations and ancient lineage highlight its importance. They are crucial to deep-sea biodiversity and hold many mysteries. Let's appreciate and continue to explore the ocean's hidden wonders.
All right, today we're going deep. I mean, really deep. We're heading to the darkest corners of our planet to meet one of its most mysterious creatures, the ghost shark. Now that name alone sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, right? But believe me, the reality is way stranger and way more fascinating.
I want you to imagine a world with crushing, unbelievable pressure and just eternal darkness. We're talking miles below the waves. It's an environment so incredibly alien, it's basically like visiting another planet. And down there, in the cold and the dark, creatures that seem to be from another world are swimming around. Today, we're going to meet one of them. So let's start with that name, Ghost Shark. It's super evocative, isn't it? You immediately picture this silent, pale predator just gliding through the gloom. But what is this thing really? Is it some kind of phantom? Is it even a shark at all?
And right away, here is our first big twist. Turns out, the name is kind of playing tricks on us. We are absolutely not dealing with anything supernatural. And yeah, while it's related to sharks, calling it one, that's not the full story. This is something else, something much, much older.
Okay, so if it's not really a ghost or a shark, what is it? Well, it's time for a proper introduction. The creature we call a ghost shark actually belongs to a group of fish with an equally cool and mythical name, the chimeras.
So, chimeras are part of a special class of fish where their skeletons are made of cartilage instead of bone. You know, just like their famous cousins, sharks and rays. But here's the part that blows my mind. Their evolutionary branch split away from the main shark lineage over 400 million years ago. They've been on their own path for an incredible amount of time. Okay, so this comparison really lays it all out. A true shark, you know the type, has multiple gill slits, that classic sandpapery skin made of tiny little teeth, and of course, that terrifying jaw that can unhinge. A chimera, though, totally different. It has just one gill opening, its skin is smooth, and its upper jaw is actually fused to its skull, which is what gives it that kind of strange, almost rabbit-like face. So we've established it's not a true shark. Now let's get to the really weird stuff. I mean, its body is this fascinating collection of bizarre, super specialized tools that are perfectly built for a life lived in absolute darkness. Just think about that for a second. Every single part of this creature has evolved for one main purpose: to survive in one of the most hostile, unforgiving environments on Earth. This isn't just a variation, it's a completely different blueprint for life. And the features are just wild. Its face is covered in these sensory canals that look like stitches, and they detect the faintest electrical fields from other animals. Its eyes are huge and ghostly, designed to catch literally any stray photon of light. For defense, it has a sharp, venomous spine on its back. And, you're not going to believe this one, the males have a retractable club-like sex organ right on their foreheads. It's truly an alien anatomy. So why? Why this bizarre collection of features? Well, to really understand the ghost shark, you have to understand where it lives. It's a world of eternal twilight and crushing pressure, a place that we humans can barely even begin to explore. Some of these species are found at depths of over 8,500 feet. Let that sink in. That's more than 1.5 miles straight down. The pressure there is immense. We're talking over 250 times what we feel just standing here. Down there, sunlight is just a distant, forgotten memory. See, in an environment like this, you can't rely on sight alone. Those stitch-like lines all over its face, they're not for looks. They basically function as its eyes and ears combined, helping it find prey, dodge predators, and even find a mate in the pitch-black darkness. Every single strange feature is a masterful tool for survival. This quote from a marine biologist just nails it. Studying these animals isn't just about learning about one weird fish. It's about getting a tiny peek into an entire ecosystem that remains one of the last great frontiers of exploration on our own planet. But if you think that's wild, the story gets even bigger. The ghost shark isn't just a resident of the deep ocean. You could say it's a traveler through deep time. This creature carries a message from a version of Earth that existed long before any of us did. I mean, just let that sink in for a moment. The lineage of the ghost shark is truly ancient. They were swimming in the oceans of our planet long before the first dinosaurs ever walked the land. They were here before the first massive forests even grew. They have somehow survived multiple mass extinctions that wiped out almost everything else.
Looking at it on a timeline is just staggering. Chimeras branched off from sharks way back here, around 420 million years ago. Dinosaurs? They didn't even show up for another 200 million years after that. And modern humans? We are a tiny, tiny blip at the very end of this timeline. It's safe to say the ghost shark has seen it all.
All of this makes the ghost shark a perfect example of what scientists call a living fossil. Now, that doesn't mean it hasn't evolved at all, but its basic body plan has been so incredibly successful in its deep-sea home that it has lasted for an almost incomprehensible amount of time.
So here's the ultimate takeaway. Every time we see a ghost shark, we're not just looking at some weird fish. We are literally looking back in time. We are seeing a blueprint for survival that has worked for nearly 500 million years. It's a living, swimming window into a prehistoric ocean.
And that leaves us with one last, really tantalizing question. The deep ocean is still so unexplored. I mean, if the ghost shark has been hiding down there all this time, this incredible relic from a lost world, what else is waiting? How many other ancient stories are just silently swimming in the dark, waiting for us to find them?
Really deep into the ocean to meet two incredible ancient cousins. On one side, you have the sharks we all know and love. On the other, their mysterious deep-sea relatives, the ghost sharks. Let's put them head to head and see what happens. You know, it sounds like the title of a horror movie, doesn't it? A phantom lurking in the shark family tree. But this isn't science fiction. Way down in the crushing dark of the deep ocean, there actually is a creature we call the ghost shark. Okay, let's get this straight right out of the gate. Ghost shark is a cool name, but they're not actually ghosts. And they're not quite sharks either. They belong to their own special group called the chimeras. Think of them as sharks' long-lost cousins who took a totally different path, like 400 million years ago. So to really get a handle on what makes these two so different, we're going to break it down. We're looking at 5 key features. And trust me, these aren't just tiny details. They're the fundamental design choices that show 2 completely different roadmaps for survival in the ocean. Let's start with the absolute basics. Breathing. Just by looking at how they get oxygen out of the water, you can already see a massive split between these 2 families. So look at this. The difference is just bam, right there. True sharks have those iconic 5 to 7 open gill slits on their sides. Classic, right? But ghost sharks, they have just one single gill opening on each side, and it's covered by this bony flap called an operculum. Now, why does that matter? Well, that single protected opening is way more energy efficient, which is absolutely perfect for a slow, deliberate life in the pitch-black, low-oxygen world of the deep sea. Okay, from breathing to biting. The way these two go about getting a meal is worlds apart, and it all comes down to the jaw. So here's the deal. It's all about fusion. Think about a great white. Its upper jaw can move, it can jut forward for that massive, powerful, tearing bite. It's made for hunting active prey. But a ghost shark's upper jaw is fused solid to its skull. It doesn't move. This turns its whole head into a single, powerful crushing tool, perfect for crunching down on hard-shelled critters like crabs and clams that it finds on the seafloor. And come on, you can't talk about sharks without talking about teeth, right? Well, this is where the differences get even more pronounced and honestly a little bizarre. This is just a fantastic example of 2 completely different toolkits. True sharks have that famous conveyor belt of daggers, right? Rows and rows of sharp teeth that they constantly shed and replace. But ghost sharks, they're eating hard stuff all the time, so they have something else entirely. They have 3 pairs of permanent tooth plates. They don't fall out. Instead, they grow continuously, kind of like a beaver's teeth, creating this ever-sharp grinding mill for their specific deep-sea diet. All right, let's talk about their skin. If you could touch one, and please don't, you would know instantly which one you are dealing with. A true shark's skin is like sandpaper. It's covered in these tiny, tooth-like scales, dermal denticles, that act like a suit of armor. It's great protection, but down in the deep, ghost sharks went a different way. Their skin is smooth, scaleless. In a place where every bit of energy matters, that smooth skin reduces drag, letting them glide through the water with this effortless, ghost-like movement. It's part of what gives them their name. So, we've gone over gills, jaws, teeth, skin, all pretty big deals. But believe it or not, we've saved the absolute weirdest, most bizarre difference for last. It's a feature that's so unique to male ghost sharks that there's nothing else like it in the entire shark family. Yep, you are seeing that right. It's a retractable, spiky, club-like thing on the male's forehead. It's called a tentaculum. Think about it. In the huge, dark abyss, finding a mate is a really big deal. So the whole purpose of this thing is to help the male hold on to the female during mating to make sure that rare opportunity doesn't slip away. It's a wild but incredibly effective solution to a deep-sea problem. So when you put all these pieces together, it's clear this isn't just a list of odd facts. It tells a story, a 400 million year-long story of two very different evolutionary journeys. So let's recap really quick. For breathing, you've got exposed slits versus one covered opening. For biting, a mobile jaw versus a fused skull. For teeth, a conveyor belt of daggers versus permanent grinding plates. For skin, rough armor versus smooth and slick. And of course, for mating, that totally unique tentaculum. And this is really the main takeaway. Every single one of those traits we just saw in the ghost shark. The efficient breathing, the crushing jaw, the grinding teeth, the smooth skin, they are all precision-engineered tools. They were forged over millions of years for a life in the immense pressure and total darkness of the deep. They didn't just stumble into the abyss. They became absolute masters of it. The ghost shark is just this incredible reminder that the deep ocean is a laboratory for some of the wildest evolutionary experiments on the planet. It really makes you wonder, as we keep exploring this alien world right here on Earth, what other bizarre, beautiful, and ghostly creatures are still waiting for us down there in the dark. You know, the deep ocean holds so many secrets, right? But I bet you've never heard of anything quite like the ghost shark. Today, we're going to dive thousands of feet down into the crushing dark to unmask this incredible deep-sea phantom. And trust me, the truth behind its name is going to surprise you. I mean, just the name itself, ghost shark, it sounds like something out of an old sailor's tale, doesn't it? A phantom just gliding through the abyss. But this creature is very, very real. And it lives in a world so alien, it might as well be on another planet. So, what secrets is it hiding down there? Let's find out. Okay, so first, let's set the scene. Imagine a place with absolutely zero sunlight. The pressure is immense and the water is near freezing. This is home for the ghost shark. It gets its name from its pale, almost see-through skin and these eerie, iridescent eyes that just seem to glow when a deep-sea sub's lights hit them. It's incredibly elusive, which just adds to that whole phantom-like reputation. But here's the thing, and this is the first, biggest secret we need to get out of the way. For all the talk about its name, for everything that makes it seem shark-like, it isn't one. Yeah, you heard that right. It's not a shark at all. So, if it's not a shark, then what in the world is it? Well, it is time to unmask this deep-sea imposter and figure out where it actually belongs on the tree of life. All right, the real name for this creature is a chimera. Now, like sharks, their skeletons are made of cartilage instead of bone, which is pretty cool. But they belong to a totally different group of fish. Sometimes people even call them ratfish because of their long, skinny tails. The best way to think of them is not as sharks, but as their ancient, long-lost cousins. And when I say ancient, I mean ancient. Their evolutionary path split away from sharks about 400 million years ago.
To put that in perspective, that's way before the dinosaurs. It's before most of the trees we see today had even evolved. So yeah, these guys have been doing their own thing for an almost unimaginable amount of time. And all that time evolving on their own has led to some truly bizarre features. Honestly, when you look at a chimera up close, it feels less like you're looking at a fish and more like a creature designed for a sci-fi movie. For starters, its eyes are huge and ghostly, perfectly adapted to suck in any tiny photon of light in the deep. And unlike sharks, its skin is totally smooth and has no scales. For defense, it's got this sharp, venomous spine right in front of its dorsal fin. And then there's the feature that really makes you do a double take. Let's just talk about that last one, because it is truly bizarre. The males have a retractable, tentacle-like sex organ right on their forehead. It's called a tentaculum. It's often club-shaped and covered in little spines, and its job is to help him hold on to the female during mating. It has to be one of the absolute strangest reproductive tools in the entire animal kingdom. No question. So how does this collection of strange parts actually work together? I mean, how do you find food in a world of absolute darkness where your eyes are almost useless? Well, you evolve a couple of superpowers, that's how. The way the ghost shark solves this problem is just incredible. It doesn't see its prey with its eyes, it senses them. All over its head and face, it has these lines of pores filled with nerves that can detect the tiny electrical fields that all living things give off. This sixth sense is called electroreception. You combine that with a lateral line system that feels tiny vibrations in the water, and suddenly it can paint the super detailed picture of its surroundings without a single ray of light. Okay, so we've unmasked the ghost shark. We've looked at its totally alien anatomy and its sixth sense, but the biggest secret it's hiding isn't really about the creature itself. It's about what it represents for the history of life on this planet. Let's just come back to that number again. 400 million years. The Chimera family line has survived multiple mass extinctions. It's watched continents drift apart and new oceans form. This thing is one of the ultimate survivors. And that's exactly why scientists are so fascinated by it. The ghost shark is what we call a living fossil. Studying its DNA, its body, its senses, it's like opening a biological time capsule. It gives us this direct window into the biology of a world that vanished a long, long time ago. And it helps us piece together the ancient story of all vertebrates. And yeah, that includes our own very, very distant ancestors. The ghost shark is just an amazing reminder that our planet is still packed with mysteries. For millions and millions of years, it just swam around in complete anonymity, a true phantom of the deep. Finding it shows us just how much we still have to learn about the deep ocean, the largest and least explored habitat on Earth. It really makes you wonder, if a creature this old and this strange was hiding right under our noses the whole time, what else is still down there, just waiting in the dark?